In this introductory video, I am going to quickly review the basics of using Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to go through the basics of where to find tools and what some of the tools do, as well as how to reset your workspace and how to make changes as needed be. So once you've logged into Adobe Illustrator, as you can see here, I have an artboard open. I also have my layers panel open, and I actually have some copy and text on the screen here. Let's just get rid of that. With your screen open, you can draw on your artboard using a number of tools, but in order to get a new panel or a new screen, I guess a new file open, in Illustrator, you have to actually create a new file. And we do so by going File, New, and then we can select the style, the size, and the shape of the file as needed be. Along the top of the window that opens, you'll notice there's options for different formats: mobile, web, print, film and video, art and illustration, and more. We'll be using print for the bulk of our layouts that we're working on in this class together. I'm going to use a simple letterhead or letter size file here, and you'll notice it's giving me the size, orientation, and points. And over on the right, if I want, I can actually change that from points into inches. Points are a traditional unit of measurement in graphic design, but for the most part, most people in North America do work with inches. Letter size is 8.5 by 11. If I want to adjust the orientation, I can do so quite easily. I can see my color mode here is CMYK. This is print color. We haven't learned much about color yet, and we're going to learn about that later on. The other option being RGB, which is screen color. And the resolution, it says here, is 300 pixels per inch, which we're going to learn about later on as well. So if I hit create, that would bring me up the screen you see here. Now, when working in Illustrator, primarily you're going to be drawing on your artboard. You're going to need your layers panel open so you can organize the information that you're drawing on your artboard. Let's take a tour of the interface. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reset my interface, and I would recommend doing so as well. Now then, you're always working from an interface that is familiar to you. And I can do so by going to the window, workspace, and I'm actually going to use Essentials Classic. I've already got it running, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Reset Essentials Classic, and that'll just reset the screen back to its default layout. Along the top is the control panel. The control panel will give you options depending on what tool you're using. If it's not visible, you can open it by going Window, Control, and that'll allow you to open the control panel. Along the left side is your toolbar. Your toolbar consists of the various tools that you will use when drawing and building and creating designs in Illustrator. If your toolbar is missing some tools, at the bottom you'll notice there's 3 dots that allow us to edit the toolbar. I would recommend to open that up, and you can see all the options for various tools available. In the top right corner, there's a flyout menu, and I would make sure you're set to advanced. This will give you all the options for tools that are available, rather than only having certain select tools available. We'll review the tools in a moment. Along the right side are closed and collapsed panels for various windows you can have open: color panels, color guides, swatches, brushes, symbols, strokes, gradients, transparencies, appearance panels, graphic styles, layers, asset export, artboards, properties panel, and libraries. We're not going to look at all these today, but over the course of time, we'll probably delve into and use quite a few of them. The tools that we have available include selection tools, which are the direct selector and the basic selector. We have magic wand tools and lasso tools, pen tools, which we will use for drawing with, type tools, line tools, shape tools, paintbrush, erasers, shapers, rotate, scale, width tool, free transform, shape builder, perspective, mesh, gradient, eyedropper, blend, symbol sprayer, column or graph creator, cropped or artboard tool, slicing tools, move tools, a magnifier to zoom in, and then your fill and your stroke, which are applied to the shapes that we build. We're not going to go through all these tools today, as we work in this course, but we will touch on quite a few of them. Primarily, we're going to be working with the selection and direct selection tools. We'll be working with the pen tools. We'll be working with the shape tools, the type tools, and the line tools. And then along the way, if we need to use any of the others, we will access them. One of the things you can also notice with the tools is some tools actually have a little arrow in the corner of the icon. That means that there's options underneath the primary tool you see. So for example, the pen tool has 4 options: the pen tool, add anchor tool, delete anchor tool, and the anchor point tool. The line tool has line segment, arc, spirals, rectangular grids, and polar grid tools. The shape tool has the ellipse, rounded rectangle, the rectangle, polygon, star, and even a flare tool. So some tools actually have multiple tools buried beneath them. And if you're ever struggling or trying to find them, you can always click on that flyout menu and pull them out. Another thing you'll notice, for example, with the pen tool that we will be using, is that when you use the flyout menu, on the right side, you'll notice an additional arrow. If you click on that arrow, it actually allows you to pull those tools out of the toolbar. This is handy when you're drawing. You need to quickly switch back and forth between various tools of a similar nature. You can actually position it anywhere on your artboard and use it in that spot. All the window palettes on the right side can also be accessed under the window menu. You can see many of them there. I'll open up the layers panel because we'll draw quite a bit with that. If you don't need your panel anymore, like all software, just click on the X to close it. And in addition, there's other tools located throughout Illustrator that we'll take a look as we start working. There are editing tools, object tools. This allows us to select objects on the artboard. Type tools that give us more functionality when we're working with type. Selection tools, allowing us to make different kinds of selections. There are a series of effect tools, some of which we will look at, including the Pathfinder tools and the Warp tools. View gives us options to turn on and off different elements. For example, if I wanted to have the ruler turned on, I can select View, and then I can go to Rulers, Show Rulers, and you'll notice with all tools, the keyboard shortcut is on the right of the tool. In this case, Command R turns on rulers. And there you can see rulers at the top and the bottom. So that's the basic walkthrough of the interface of Adobe Illustrator. In the next video, I'll be walking us through drawing our icon emoji that we worked on in class. And then we'll also have another video taking a look at drawing using the pen tool. Thank you.